I'm standing in the break room of Henderson and Associates, holding a coffee that's gone cold, and Jessica from marketing is literally laughing at me. Not like a polite chuckle, full-on cackling, hand on her stomach, tears in her eyes, laughing. It's 9:47 a.m. on a Wednesday. The fluorescent lights are humming that annoying frequency they always do, and I can feel my face doing that thing where it gets hot from the ears inward. "You really think you belong here?" she says, catching her breath. "Here's the thing about working at a mid-sized consulting firm for 18 months. You learn where you stand pretty quickly." And according to Jessica, who'd been there for 6 years, I definitely didn't belong. Let me back up. I started at Henderson and Associates in March of last year. Junior analyst position, nothing fancy. The kind of job where you're expected to be grateful for the opportunity and maybe get promoted in, 5 years if you keep your head down and don't make waves. I was 24, fresh out of my master's program, and honestly just thrilled to have health insurance. The office was one of those converted warehouse spaces downtown. Exposed brick, unnecessarily high ceilings, desks that cost more than my car. You know the type. About 40 employees spread across 2 floors, and a very clear hierarchy that Jessica made sure I understood from day one. She introduced herself my first morning. I was setting up my laptop at my desk. 2nd floor, northeast corner, the spot where the AC never quite reaches, and she just appeared. Navy blazer, perfect blonde blowout, smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Junior analyst, right?" she'd said. "Not a question, really. Yeah, you'll be working on client reports mostly. Data entry, formatting, that sort of thing. Someone has to do it." She'd laughed then, too. That same laugh. Don't worry, we all started somewhere, except Jessica hadn't started as a junior analyst. Her dad played golf with the CEO. She'd told me this within our first 3 conversations. Each time like it was crucial information I needed to understand the natural order of things. For the next year and a half, I did my job. Came in at 8:30, left around 6, ran reports, formatted presentations, sat in meetings where I mostly took notes. Standard stuff. But I also did something else, something I haven't mentioned yet because it's kind of the whole point of this story. I noticed things I noticed that the client retention reports had some weird patterns. Numbers that didn't quite add up. Dates that seemed off. At first, I thought maybe I was reading them wrong. I mean, I was the junior analyst, right? Surely someone above me would have caught actual problems. But the thing about being the person who formats all the reports is that you see everything. Every department's numbers, every project timeline, every budget allocation. And when you have a brain that gets obsessive about patterns, which, okay, I definitely do, you start seeing connections. So I started keeping notes. Just for myself, in a personal Google Doc. Not like I was planning anything, I was literally just trying to understand the data because it bothered me. Does that make sense? It's like when you see a typo and you can't unsee it. Anyway, fast forward to last month. October 3rd specifically. There's this company-wide meeting scheduled. Quarterly review thing. Happens every few months. Everyone gathers in the main conference room and pretends to care about revenue projections. Jessica corners me by the coffee maker beforehand. I'm waiting for the machine to finish, one of those pod things that takes forever and makes that gurgling sound, and she's scrolling through her phone. I heard they're announcing the new senior analyst positions today, she says, not looking up. My stomach does this little flip. I'd applied for one of those positions. Spent 2 weeks on the application, asked my manager to be a reference, the whole thing. But I hadn't told anyone because honestly, I figured I had no shot. "Oh yeah?" I say, trying to sound casual. She looks at me then. Really looks at me with this expression I can't quite read. Yeah, should be interesting. The coffee finishes. I grab it and head toward the conference room, and I can feel her watching me walk away. Conference room's packed. All 40-ish employees crammed around the big table or standing along the walls. I end up in the back corner next to Dave from IT, who always smells like cigarettes even though he claims he quit. CEO Richard Henderson is at the front. He's one of those guys who's probably 55 but could pass for 45, always tan even though it's October in Seattle, always wearing expensive watches. He built the company from nothing 20 years ago, which everyone knows because he mentions it frequently. He goes through the usual stuff. Revenue's up 12%, client satisfaction scores are strong, blah, blah, blah. I'm half paying attention, mostly thinking about the budget discrepancy I'd noticed in the Morrison account files the day before. Then he says, "Now I want to talk about some personnel changes." The room gets quiet. Like actually quiet. Someone's phone buzzes and 3 people jump. We're promoting 2 junior analysts to senior positions, Henderson says. These are people who've shown exceptional initiative and attention to detail. I'm not breathing. I don't know if you've ever wanted something so badly that you physically can't inhale, but that's where I'm at. The first promotion goes to Marcus Webb. Everyone claps. Marcus is great, totally deserves it. He's sitting across the table looking stunned and happy. And the second, Henderson pauses, goes to someone who did something I frankly didn't expect. My heart is literally pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. This person came to me 6 weeks ago with a 47-page analysis of systematic billing irregularities across 6 of our major client accounts. Wait. 6 weeks ago, I had emailed Henderson directly. Not my manager, not HR, straight to the CEO. I'd been terrified. Spent 3 days writing and rewriting the email. But the data was so clear by that point that I couldn't just ignore it anymore. I hadn't told anyone. Not my coworkers, not my friends, not my mom who calls every Sunday. Because what if I was wrong? What if I was just the junior analyst who didn't understand how things really worked? This analysis, Henderson continues, revealed that we've been overcharging several clients due to a software error that no one else caught. We're talking about a potential legal nightmare that could have destroyed this company's reputation. The room is dead silent now. Because of this person's diligence, we've been able to correct the errors, refund the clients, and maintain our relationships. They saved us from what could have been a catastrophic audit failure. He's looking around the room. I'm pressed against the back wall trying to disappear into the drywall, so our second promotion goes to, and this is the moment Jessica, standing like 5 feet to my right, mutters under her breath, but definitely loud enough for people near us to hear. Probably Marcus's friend Jake or something. Sarah Chen. I think I stop existing for a second. Henderson's looking right at me now. Sarah, come up here. I genuinely don't remember walking to the front of the room. It's like video game fast travel. 1 second I'm in the back, next second I'm standing next to Henderson, and everyone's clapping, and Marcus is grinning at me. Henderson shakes my hand. His grip is firm, warm. Sarah found a systematic error in our billing integration that's been running for 2 years. She put together a comprehensive analysis, proposed solutions, and potentially saved us from a 7-figure legal settlement. This is exactly the kind of initiative we value. I managed to say thank you. My voice sounds like it's coming from underwater. He hands me a folder. We'll go over the details later, but this includes your new salary. You're looking at a 40% increase, your new benefits package, and your new office assignment. Office? I say stupidly. 4th floor just opened up. You'll be working directly with the client strategy team now. I float back to my spot. Everyone's congratulating me, patting my shoulder. Dave from IT gives me a fist bump and whispers, "Hell yeah," and Jessica. Jessica is pale. Like actually pale. She's staring at me with her mouth slightly open. The meeting wraps up. Henderson dismisses everyone, but as I'm gathering my stuff, Jessica appears in front of me. Her voice is low, urgent. You went directly to Henderson? Yeah. About billing errors? Yeah, her eyes narrow. You didn't think to mention this to anyone? Like to your team? Or maybe to me? Here's where I should mention something I learned about Jessica in my 18 months there. Her boyfriend, fiancé, she corrected people constantly, was the lead developer on the billing software integration project. The one that had the error. The one that had been overcharging clients for 2 years. I hadn't known this when I sent the report to Henderson. I'd only found out 3 weeks ago when I saw them together at a company happy hour and put the pieces together. I reported it through proper channels, I say, which is true. CEO is technically the proper channel for financial irregularities. This is going to make Eric look bad, she hisses. The software has a bug, I say. That's not about Eric, that's just a thing that happens. But we both know that's not entirely true. Because a good QA process should have caught this. And Eric was in charge of QA. And Jessica had been unusually involved in defending the billing system whenever anyone mentioned delays or issues. Looking back now, I should have seen the pattern earlier. How she'd shut down conversations about billing questions. How she always had explanations for why certain reports looked weird. How she'd convinced our manager that we didn't need to dig too deep into client account reconciliations. She'd been protecting him. Maybe she'd known about the error, maybe she hadn't. But either way, She'd made sure no one looked too closely. "You're making a mistake," she says. "I don't think so." That's when she laughs. That same laugh from the beginning of this story. We're in the break room now. I'd walked there on autopilot, needing water or air or something, and she's shaking her head. "You really think you belong here?" She says. "You're a junior analyst who got lucky finding a glitch. They'll figure out you're in over your head within a month." I'm holding my coffee. It's gone cold. The fluorescent lights are humming, and then Henderson appears in the doorway. "Sarah," he says, "do you have a minute? I want to introduce you to the client strategy team." "Sure," I manage. As I walk past Jessica, Henderson stops. He looks at her, then at me, then back at her. "Jessica, I've been meaning to talk to you. Can you stop by my office at 2? Her face goes white. I find out later, through Dave from IT, who knows everything, that Jessica gets called into a meeting that afternoon with Henderson and HR. Turns out my 47-page report included some email chains I'd found in the shared drive. Emails where Jessica had specifically told people not to waste time investigating billing discrepancies. Where she'd vouched for the software despite having no technical expertise. They don't fire her. But they move her to a different project. No more client-facing work. No more influence over the billing system oversight. Eric, the boyfriend, leaves the company 2 weeks later. Mutual decision to pursue other opportunities according to the announcement email. That was 6 weeks ago. Today I'm sitting in my new office on the 4th floor. It has a window. An actual window with natural light. My title is Senior Analyst Client Strategy. I'm making $73,000 a year instead of $52,000. I have a team of 3 people I'm training to look for patterns in data the way I did. And here's the weird part, Jessica still works here. We see each other in the hallway sometimes. She doesn't laugh anymore. Doesn't really say much of anything. Just nods and keeps walking. I ran into her in the parking garage last week. It was late, past 7, both of us heading to our cars. The lighting in there is terrible, all yellow and flickering. "Congrats on the promotion," she said. Flat voice, tired, "Thanks. You know Eric and I broke up, right?" "I didn't, actually." "I'm sorry," she laughed then. But different this time. Bitter, quiet. "He blamed me for not stopping you. Like I could have stopped you from doing your job." "I wasn't trying to—" "I know." She unlocked her car. "You were just doing what you were supposed to do. Following the data." "I get it." She drove away. I think about that sometimes. About how Jessica spent 6 years at that company, building this image of herself as someone important, someone connected, someone who belonged. And how threatened she must have felt by someone like me. Younger, newer, nobody's daughter or girlfriend or special case. But the thing is, belonging isn't about who you know or how long you've been somewhere. It's about whether you do the work. Whether you pay attention, whether you speak up when something's wrong, even when it's scary. That Wednesday morning in the break room, when Jessica asked if I really thought I belonged there. I didn't know how to answer, but now I do. Yeah, I really do belong here because I earned it.